Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to look at the value of teamwork in learning. Teamwork bridges the learning gaps. That is one of the importance of teamwork in learning. When you learn as a group, it helps you to bridge the learning gap. Usually during the lectures or during the normal lessons, we tend to miss some of the things, and you can only get these things which you have missed during your normal lessons through group discussions with friends or with your classmates. Another importance of teamwork in learning is teamwork enables you to more easily identify your blind spots and errors. We tend to make error or to make wrong interpretation of some of the concepts which we learn. You may understand a concept in your own way, which is not the right way. Therefore, the only way for you to easily realize that your interpretation of a certain concept which you have learned is not correct is through teamwork. By discussing what you have learned with friends in a group discussion, you will be able to understand the areas which you did not understand well, or you will be able to identify some of the errors which you made in your understanding. Another importance of teamwork in learning is through group discussion, you will get a chance to explain what you know to others, or you will get a chance to teach others what you know. And through teaching others, it helps you to build your own understanding. You tend to understand better and to grasp the concepts which you have learned by teaching others. And we can confirm that teamwork is very important in learning by looking at the learning theory pyramid. When you look at the learning theory pyramid, you will see that in the bottom of the pyramid, that's the base of the pyramid, we have the teach others and the immediate use approach to learning. And it accounts for 90% of the average retention rate. This confirms that through group discussion, by explaining what you know to others, or by teaching others what you know, you learn more. It is an active form of learning, and it accounts for 90% of retention. You retain a lot of information by teaching the information to other people. Also, when you look at the learning theory pyramid, you will find that discussion groups account for 50% of the retention rate. And when we talk of teamwork in learning, we are usually referring to the discussion groups. When you sit with your classmates or with your friends to explain to each other what you have learned and to make clarifications on the things which you don't understand, that is what we refer to as the group discussion or the group work. And it accounts for 50% of average retention rate, and it is an active form of learning. Now, therefore, when we add up the retention rate of group discussion, which is 50%, and the retention rate of teaching others, which is 90%, we'll find that teamwork accounts for more than 100% of what you can retain in learning. Therefore, teamwork is very important. It is an active form of learning, and it helps you as a student to retain most of the information which you are learning. Next, we are going to look at some important tips when it comes to teamwork in learning, that is the group discussion. When you want to carry out a group discussion, these are some of the important tips which you should put into consideration. The first tip is don't turn your study session into a socializing occasion. Therefore, when you decide to do a group discussion, make sure that you focus on studying whatever you have planned to study in that group discussion. It should not be converted into a socializing session. Instead of learning, you start narrating stories or doing other social activities which are not related to whatever you want to learn. Another important tip when it comes to group discussion is keep small talk to a minimum. Sometimes you tend to divert from whatever you are discussing, and you discuss things which are out of the topic. Therefore, when that happens, make sure that you do that for a very short period of time and you are able to return to the topic of discussion. The third important tip is keep time. Keeping time is very important. When you have decided that you are going to meet at such and such a time, make sure that each and every group member sticks to that time. If you have a group which doesn't keep time, they tend to come for the group discussion maybe 15 minutes or more than 15 minutes late. That group is not a good group, and you should quit the group and look for a group which can keep time, because by delaying your discussion, you waste a lot of time, which is very valuable, and you could have used that time to do other things. Another important tip is be prepared before the group discussion. This is very important. Before you go for a group discussion, you need to know which topic or which topics you are going to discuss in that session. Each and every member of the group needs to prepare so that you go to the group to the discussion with some knowledge of the topic which you want to look at. Another important tip when it comes to group discussion is focus on the discussion topic. Therefore, you should stick to the topic which you have decided to discuss. And the last tip is give each group member a chance. During the group discussion, each group member should be given a chance to express his or her points. Each group member should be given a chance to contribute in the discussion. This is very important because sometimes there are some members in the group who tend to be domineering and they take most of the time during the discussion. Therefore, you should be able to control that and make sure that you give each and every member of the group a chance to contribute into the discussion. Now, if you have a group and it does not adhere to most of these tips, that one is not a good group. It will waste a lot of your time, which is very valuable, the time which you can use to do some other constructive things. You should quit that group and look for a group which can adhere to some of these tips, which are very important in a group discussion. Thank you very much and see you in our next lesson.